and welcome to another brand new episode of This Week in Disney History. I am your host, Milo Beasley, and we have a good one for you this week. I mean, I know I say that every week, but it's the end/beginning of a new year. We have attraction openings, attraction closings, births, marriages, movies. We have pretty much everything going on this week in Disney history. Now, let me remind everyone, this will be our last Facebook, YouTube video, probably, of This Week in Disney History. We're going to be moving to a podcast format so that we have more time for you. And speaking of time, December 27th, 1937, Walt Disney appears on the cover of Time magazine for the very first time. This comes on the heels of, I think, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we talked about it. The world premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So Time magazine did a big feature article, and Walt Disney appears on the cover. And then he did the same exact thing, the same date, December 27th, 1954. So what is that? That's 17 years later. 17 years later, Walt Disney appears on the cover of Time magazine for the second time. I have appeared on the cover of Time magazine once, and that was when they did the mirror episode, the mirror issue, and I could see my face. Moving on, December 28th, 1972, the last scheduled flights for the Stollport Airport at Walt Disney World. This was supposed to be so people could fly in for their vacations and be right there. Not successful. Moving on, December 29th, we're going to just moving on, December 29th, 1965, since we talked about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, we're probably going to do it again. We're going to talk about this date, 1865, December 29th, 1865, Otis Harlan is born. You're like, who is that? He is the voice of Happy from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So lots of dwarfs going on this week in Disney history. Also on this day, a huge day, December 29th, 1974. It is the day that John Lennon officially signs the paperwork to break up the Beatles. And he did so while staying at the Polynesian Village Resort. I guess if you stay in every single room, you will have eventually stayed in the room in which John Lennon broke up the Beatles. So good luck. Moving on to December 30th, right? We're on December 30th. December 30th, 1928. Gallopin' Gaucho has its world premiere. This is Mickey's second cartoon. It's actually, yes, so his second produced cartoon and second released cartoon. But this cartoon was actually created before Steamboat Willie. So Steamboat Willie was released in November 1928. Gallopin' Gaucho released in December, although Gallopin' Gaucho was actually created before Steamboat Willie. A little history lesson for you. Also on this date, December 30th, 1988, Pixar releases Tin Toy, a monumental animation feat by the Pixar studio. It would go on to win, I think, Best Short, I think. But obviously just started the Pixar Titan, in which it eventually purchased by Disney. And now we have Toy Story. I love Buzz Lightyear. And then this date, December 30th, 2012, kicked off with a head start of Limited Time Magic. Limited Time Magic was an event that would go on the entire year of 2013. So we'll probably be talking about whatever kicked off that is starting next episode. But every single week they would have some sort of, well, it was a week-long limited event that had characters or food or entertainment, something of that nature. But it started this date, a little head start before 2013 with Bling in the New Year. People were given bling, and they did. So on the 30th, they actually did a fake countdown and then fireworks and stuff. And then they did the same thing on the 31st. So I don't have anything to bling in the new year. So hopefully you do. And then December 31st, 1971, here we are, New Year's. It is the very first New Year's Eve party at the Magic Kingdom. And tickets cost a whopping $7.50. Please find me any sort of private party at Disney that costs $7.50. Oh, here we go with the movies. 1999, they like everyone remembers this day, right? I mean, what, December 31st, 1999, Y2K, everything's going black, and Fantasia 2000 is released. It wasn't such the hit that Fantasia was. I actually liked it. There was a little bit more Donald Duck in this one, so maybe that's why I liked it. Anyways, December 31st, 2005, Timekeeper has its last official day at the Magic Kingdom. It would close on this day, but wouldn't officially close until like February. So like it just sat dormant for like 2 months, and they were like, it's done. So if you didn't get a chance to do it, it's gone. And then December 31st, 2015, I met this guy, Baymax, on my very first trip to Disneyland Paris. And he looked just like this. Let's see. Moving on to this January 1st. January 1st, 1888, again in the Wayback Machine. Walt's parents, Elias and Flora, are married in Central Florida. Not Orlando per se, but just outside of Orlando in Lake County. Walt's parents are married. Did that have to do with Walt, purchasing land and creating Walt Disney World in his Florida project in Central Florida? Or was it the cheap land? I'm gonna go cheap land. 1938, the very first appearance of a Disney float in the Tournament of Roses parade. Of course, again, just weeks after the world premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Walt Disney puts out a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs float at the Tournament of Roses parade. Moving on, 1943, right? 1943. Walt Disney releases an anti-Nazi propaganda cartoon titled Der Führer's Face, featuring Donald Duck. This one has been taken out of context so many times, and they just put the picture and they're like, Donald Duck was a Nazi. It was a dream, man. It was a dream. Like, whatever. It also won the 1943 Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. So, learn something. Also on this date, 1955, going back to the Tournament of Roses parade, prior to the opening of Disneyland, this would be the very first, obviously, because there was very first Disneyland themed float at the Tournament of Roses parade. Lots of Disney involvement in the Tournament of Roses parade in Pasadena. This one would be the first Disneyland, which would be opening 6-7 months later. Something. And then let's see, 1978, January 1st, 1978, the Main Street Electrical Parade has a very rare appearance outside of Disney, of the Disney parks, either Walt Disney World or Disneyland, as it appears as the halftime show for the Orange Bowl in 1978. So it literally just marched down the field. So that would actually be, man, I would love to see that. Any parade at this point. And then 2007, the Wonders of Life Pavilion closes at the Epcot Center. Not a good week for Epcot when it comes to December 31st, January 1st. It's not a good week for attractions. So we're going to move on to this December. We're moving on to January 2nd, our last day this week. 1977. There's going to be a theme here. 1977, Disneyland Frontierland, the mine train through nature's wonderland closes. Thank goodness, is replaced by Big Thunder Mountain, which is way easier to say. Hey, Mom, I'm going to the mine train that runs through nature's wonderland. Hey, Mom, I'm going to Big Thunder Mountain. Okay, go. 1996, World of Motion. We talked about the announcing of the closure. World of Motion actually has its last day at Epcot, which would eventually be replaced by Test Track. So lots of closures and then replaces. And then staying on theme, 2017, January 2nd, 2017, Disneyland's Tower of Terror has its last operational day. This would eventually close and then reopen, be rethemed as Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. So lots of things closing just to be reborn as a phoenix. Way better attractions. So if you see a crappy attraction out there, don't worry, it's just going to close and become a better attraction. So that'll do it for this week in Disney history. Thanks for watching on the Facebooks and YouTube. Please head over to the milobeasleyshow.com/podcast, and you will be able to follow and I think you can subscribe. I think it's going to be on the iTunes. Don't know about Spotify yet, but you'll be able to subscribe so that way you can hit and get all new podcasts as they come out live, and you can listen to them in your car. You can listen to them while you work out. You can listen to them while you walk your dog. You can listen to them anywhere that you can stream the podcast things. Technology. So anyway, thanks for watching and hanging out with me. If you would please still follow me on all my social medias, subscribe, follow, like, share. There's still a ton of things. We have a lot of really cool interviews I have set up for the new year. Lots of celebrities and athletes. So thank you for hanging out with us. And I'll see you next week for This Week in Disney History, the podcast.